Hello and welcome back to Gigi Naturals Homestead channel. I want to show you something that I am really super proud of. Say hello to Eureka. This is a Eureka lemon seed that I planted from actually the seeds that I got from one of my grocery trips. And I planted about 18 seeds total. This is the, what we see in this part of the world as the traditional lemon, the yellow, really super yellow lemon. So I decided that I was going to allow them to dry out, and I let them sit to dry for probably a good 2 months. Just let them have the air and sit out. So out of the 18 that I planted, what you see in this cup was what germinated. So we have 2 little babies in there, and I'm so excited about that. So when I initially bought lemon trees, I thought that's what I was buying, but ends up they were Meyer Lemon, and I hadn't been exposed to Meyer Lemons before, so I was calling them my hybrid. Like, I was not exposed to those, so I had no idea what they were. And so now I am super excited that those have germinated. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get into part 2 of our garden tour. So let me turn you around. Okay, so I'm going to start on the opposite side of the wall today. All right, so what we have here, let me see if I can locate the tags on these so I can tell you exactly what kind of grapes these are. Let's see. This says Carlos. I don't remember that being the name of it, but that is what it says. And I don't see a tag on that one. However, this one has been here for probably 3 years, but this year it is really making some progress, and it's climbing, it's going all through the fence, and this one just started out being really good. So we planted this one earlier in the year, so it has not even been in the ground for a full year. So I'm excited to see those happen. This is one of the areas over here where my husband and I do composting. And so it is so unofficial, but what we put over here breaks down like super fast. So we never really have any struggle with it. As you can see, we threw some potatoes. These are white potatoes. They were rotting. We threw them over in the compost area, and that's what we got. We got potatoes growing. Never expected to see that happen, but it's happening. Now this is a ginger. This is a Pinecone ginger lily is what it's called. Pinecone ginger lily. And this here is going to turn red, like really vibrant red. And so there are people who use this as shampoo. There are people who use it for indigestion, gastric issues. So I don't know if my husband planted that over here or if it's something that just kind of sprouted, because we have literally been seeing things like this purple gosh, I can't even remember the name of it, salvia or something, it will take over. And we love it because it's thick, it's bushy, and it has these beautiful purple blooms to it. So what I really wanted this video, this part 2 for, was for the bushes, berries, the berry bushes, as well as our fruit trees. And so in here we have, let me watch my step because, you know, I'm snake weary. All right, so blueberries. This year we had a good harvest of blueberries, and we really got to enjoy, I would say, a good half of a bucket full of blueberries. And this is the second blueberry bush that we have in this area. And so what we did was, you see the pine bark, pine straw, did a little research and discovered that if you pack pine bark and pine needles around your blueberry plants, you're going to get a good harvest. You're going to get a good harvest. And so those are the blueberries. And let's go over to the trees we planted. Oh gosh, I need to run and put a serious hole in that because that is holding water, holding lots of water. That is my my pink lady apple. All right, and so here is the persimmon. It is doing just fine. It's got a little bit, you can see there on the bark, it's trying to produce a little bit more. So I am so glad to see that happening. It is doing okay in its space. We've had it in this container for probably about 3 weeks now. And also the pink lady, we potted those on the same day. And those are my $1 plants still sitting there. One of them is looking kind of rough. I have to take it out and fertilize it. But here is this is an apple tree. So that's the Macintosh apple. And these need each other. The pink lady and the Macintosh apple need each other for germination. And so here we have tangerines. And let me see if I can get close enough so that you can see some of the fruit. So this tangerine, the first year we had it in the ground, it gave us a little bit of fruit. And then the second year it gave us a little bit more of fruit. And so this year we're getting a little bit more than that. So we're just excited because the first year gave us a glimpse into just how wonderful these tangerines taste. And so I am air layering this one, and my foil has come off. Let's see, I'm using Lead Farmer 73's chili dog method. So that's why it's wrapped in foil. I need to really get some more foil and go over it again. So this tree it's really grown, and I probably will put another air layer on that really long branch right here. So I'm thinking that one probably needed to be cut anyway. The Grow Family Network was talking about when they have all of these really sharp that will tear you apart. You see how long that is? That thing is like, it's long. And those needles are like no joke. No joke. So you definitely don't want to get stuck by those. And so they were saying that when they have all of that and they're just like uncharacteristically long compared to the rest of the tree, then you should probably cut it off. So what I'll probably do is start an air layer on that one and see what happens, because I definitely want to cut it off. All right, so we are over at our pomelo tree. So for those who may not know, the pomelo was the original tree from where the grapefruit derived. And so let me show you how extremely large these get. And I'm also air layering that. I lost my foil, so I need to get some foil and cover that so that it can have some darkness in which to root. But all right, okay, I don't have really small hands. Like, I'm short, my hands are short, but you know, they're meaty hands. But look at this thing. Look how humongous this thing is. That is the pomelo. So in comparison to grapefruit, the pomelo has humongous fruit. And this one is starting to change color. And there's another, let me see. It's so heavy. We were trying to figure out why this was not producing, but now we realize that this thing had to be super strong in order to hold this fruit. But we were thinking that it was a grapefruit tree because that's what it said on the tag, but it had a second tag that said pomelo, and we didn't discover that until like 5-6 years in. so it was not growing fruit because it needed to be extremely strong. So this tree is probably about 15-20 feet tall at this point. And as you can see, it's meaty. It's meaty. So the trunk had to be extremely strong in order to be able to hold that. And so that's what we got. We have these humongous pomelo fruit. Now, up under this is the grapefruit. So you see the size difference? This is the grapefruit. And this is the second year or the third year that we've had this in the ground. I want to say it's the second year that this has been in the ground. And I bought another one because I said, if this one did not produce, I definitely wanted to have another. And so I was able to see that it had fruit when we first bought it. And so they just gave me the go ahead to get the second grapefruit tree, what we thought was, you know, the grapefruit. And this one turns out that it really is a grapefruit versus the pomelo. And so recently I got this particular lime. I had a lime before. It died. I thought that you know, it died way too fast, but I got another one. And as you can see, this tree is very, very small, but look, it has fruit on it. It has fruit on it already. And it's like, it's going to go to town whenever it grows big enough to really hold a lot of fruit. This thing is going to go to town for us. So I am way excited about that. I'm ready to see that. And these two over here are my Meyer Lemons. Lead Farmer 73 is always doing cuttings and air layering on his Meyer lemon trees, and that's where I got the idea from, air layering. I had done cuttings before, but just never knew that you could air layer on a tree. So I learned that from him. And I didn't say that on the grapefruit tree, on the small one back over there, that I have an air layer on it as well. So the Meyer lemon, I'm definitely going to do some more. As you can see, my husband did some trimming to it just recently, and already this thing is like, bring it, let's do it, it's ready. It doesn't care about you cutting something off of it. It just energized the plant, and so we have, a good amount of fruit on the plant for the size of it. But this one is our monster. This is the one that we have had, let's see, we've been here 6 years. So yeah, we've had this about 5 years. And as you can see, this thing is loaded down with fruit, loaded down with Meyer lemons, just loaded. They are everywhere. And it has been that way since the 2nd year that we had this plant. So we always have to give these things away. When the family, would come down, we would just, have them around Christmas time. Just take them, please take them, please take them, because the more you cut off, the more it's going to grow. And it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So we absolutely love it though. We love it. And let's see, over in this corner, we have 2 pear trees. So there's 2 of them, and they are different. There is like a huge something down there on one of those plants, and I'm not going over there. So there we have 2 pear trees, and I will definitely be very soon taking those and putting them in a larger pot. All right, and so here, this is where I have gotten the most of our harvest from this year. And over here we have mustard greens, we have turnip greens, we have bok choy back there, we have some cabbage trying to grow. Cabbage has been really, really hard for me to grow, but these mustard greens have just been going to town. We also, we also have these coming, cucumbers. So this spot over here has done well with cucumbers, much better than the spot on the other side of the yard. It's really funny how that happens, but it's real, it's real. So I have to go through and pull out some dollar weed today. I discovered, well, my husband discovered that dollar weed was actually, you can use it as an herb to actually help with blood pressure and that type of thing. So and then potatoes. I have potatoes in this bag. These are white potatoes, and they're gonna have to come out of there. They have to come out of that bag because it's simply not large enough in order to, grow some substantial white potatoes. So I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in to part 2 of our garden tour. And I showed you all this stuff in part 1, so I won't go over that again. And we are so thankful that you all are coming to subscribe to our channel, and please share with your family and friends this channel and help us grow. And we will be bringing a lot more just information as we learn about it, we will be bringing just our experience in living life in this homesteading fashion, making things for ourselves, doing just things that make us happy, and enjoying the properties that we have. So thank you again. Make sure that you are growing to feed your family. The world is in a different state now, and we have to get back to growing. This is not something new. This is something that we have to simply get back to. Okay? And so, peace and love to all of you, and we will see you guys on the next video.